Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. It is June 11th, 2019, and I have some new footage for you. I captured this on the Solar Dynamics Observatory yesterday, but I've been waiting for, well, probably the last 16 hours so I can get some additional or more clearer footage of this object moving through the sun's corona. You know, folks, back in 2016, I captured this object moving through the sun's corona, and I caught it on the SDO. And once again, in 2017, I believe it was in May. Actually, Dr. Albers and I did a live stream pertaining to this, and the video went wild all across YouTube. And once again, in 2018, I captured this object, again, moving through the sun's corona. And folks, whenever I say I know when and where to capture one of these objects, on video or in still photographs, I truly mean it. And my track record proves it. I know there's a lot of people out there that put a lot of different information out. But here's the thing, folks. You know, they're really not proving anything to you. Absolutely nothing. Our inner solar system and our sun has been invaded as far back as probably 2007 is when I made the first capture of this object orbiting around the sun, the backside of the sun, and it only took about 7 days. And now that's not the complete orbit that this object was in, but from the point that it came in the view of the camera, looped all the way around the sun and back out. Now that was captured on stereo B, and since then, they've actually taken stereo B out of commission. We've talked about it before. They say that the stereo B space telescope, the craft itself, went into a controlled spin and never came out of it, lost communication with NASA. Well, that's not completely true. NASA actually does have communication with stereo B, but who knows the real story? You know, we get one story from NASA, and you know, they have the truth behind closed doors. But I had a feeling that I was going to be able to possibly see this object again coming up over the eastern limb of the sun, and sure enough, so as I was looking at this on the stereo, this would be the purple version, the 211 angstroms of light, ultraviolet light. I noticed real quick that I saw the corona of the sun kind of buffer. You know, it's almost like something moving through smoke. If something moves through a trail of smoke very quickly, it disturbs it. And I learned very, very long ago that if this object is moving at a very high rate of speed in a tight orbit around the sun, then yes, there would be a possibility that it would disturb the sun's corona. And sure enough, in 2016, 17, 18, and now in 2019, we've made the discovery. So that is consistency. And whenever you're doing this type of research, consistency means everything, at least to me. Let me just do one thing here real quick while everybody's getting their notifications from the boob tube. Oh yeah, let's talk about YouTube. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you. They are something else, man. Social media is absolutely insane. They are once again deleting and eliminating so many people's YouTube channels, Facebook accounts. There is this huge threat against Christianity. I mean, this is absolutely insane. Now on Facebook, they have banned the word honk. That's right. H-O-N-K. You know, honk your horn, or, you know, the other term for country music, honky-tonk music. Yeah, exactly. So, from what I understand today, all of the big high-tech social media companies were up there on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., and I don't know, you know, we'll see what comes out of it. But the censorship is real. I'd like to also thank all of the people over the last couple of days that joined our private network. Listen, folks, I'm telling you right now, sooner or later, they're going to purge YouTube again, and this information that I provide for you, it's not going to be there. You're not going to know where to find me. So I do recommend that all of you subscribe to that private network. The link is right in the description box. Also sign up for my email notifications. That's been working out fantastic now. Each and every day, you'll get one email from me. It will be a list of articles that I've written. And listen, folks, all of the articles have great information. They are things that you should read about and put in your mind. But I'd also like to thank everybody who bought shirts. I know all of you thought that I was out there ranting and raving, but you know, folks, understand one thing. I've been doing this now for 20 years. This is a passion. The reason why it is a passion is because I feel that every human being on this planet has the right to know the truth. And the truth is, no, we're not going through any type of global warming. Yes, the climate is changing, but why is the climate changing? How is it that all of this is happening so fast? Well, I've gone over this with all of you for many, many years now, and, you know, not patting myself on the back here, but again, you know, I discussed a lot of this with all of you in 2016, 17, and 18, and I warned that these things would be coming. The flooding, the earthquakes, the volcanoes. I think Mount Cinnabung blew its top. I think it blew ash 55,000 feet in the air. I have some footage also that was sent in by a lot of my German subscribers that I thought that I had lost. But the reason why I thought I lost them is because YouTube blocks me in a lot of European countries. Well, actually, those countries do. And I got a bunch of emails from my German followers, and they were explaining to me how they are able to view my videos now from these different European countries. They had one hellacious storm. I mean, it was like a hurricane. This was the storm system that I was showing you the other day that was battering the coastline of France. And remember, I said, I mean, that thing was huge, and it was going to be moving upward. And to tell you the truth, I actually forgot all about Germany being in the pathway of this monster storm. I was talking about it hitting the south part of the UK. And sure enough, you know, it did a lot of damage in Germany. These short video clips, I'm going to show them to you later on. These short video clips, let me tell you, wow. Hailstones that go from about that size, maybe the size of a golf ball, to about that size. Huge, gigantic hailstones. This one gentleman sent me a video. I felt so bad for him. He just bought a brand new Audi A6. I love Audis. They're beautiful cars, one of the best in the world. An Audi A6, you know, that could range from anywhere between $70,000 to $80,000. brand new, he got stuck in that hailstorm, and it destroyed his car. And he videotaped it. I don't know, maybe for insurance purposes, but it was one hell of a video. And I have about 4 or 5 video clips I've put together to show all of you. But first of all, I want to show you this object zipping through the sun's corona in this 48-hour loop from the SDO. It's absolutely incredible. Now, it's taken me the better part of all of today to actually get one still photograph of it. One clear still photograph. You're looking at it on your screen right now in my thumbnail. And the reason being is I was waiting for SDO to update itself and give me a little bit of a clearer image. I tried to get it from HelioViewer. I just couldn't get it. And finally, about 2 hours ago, bingo. I would have done this live stream earlier, but for some reason, well, I know the reason, but YouTube was having some issues. Google was having some issues with internet service. And we are going through a geomagnetic storm from a stealth CME, a coronal mass ejection that was not detected by any instruments out there in space that monitor the sun. And these stealth CMEs, they're real tricky. You have to have a good eye to detect them. I noticed this stealth CME a few days ago. I didn't think that it would have that big of an impact, but again, our magnetosphere is weakening greatly. It's weakening at a very, very rapid pace. As some of this solar energy started coming in, earthquakes started popping off all over the world and all over the United States. They had a very, very rare occurrence of an earthquake just a little northeast of Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah. And that definitely sparked some concern for the folks in that surrounding area, because there is one little tiny fault zone there. But as far as historical data goes for earthquakes in that area, I was only able to find 2 earthquakes in, I think, like a 100-year period, and they were both relatively small. There was some word out there that it had something to do with fracking. I don't know. I doubt that, because the earthquake occurred just offshore in the Lake Erie. There are still very, very big concerns brewing in Southern California right now with all of these earthquake swarms in several different areas. They are still continuing to swarm just north of San Francisco and just southeast of LA. So we will see what happens. If you folks live in any of these areas, please make sure you have evacuation plans set up. You know, you have your bug out bins, you have some cash on hand. You never know, folks. Look, not trying to fearmonger here, but Southern California is way overdue for a magnitude 7+ earthquake, and so is the San Francisco area. So it is just a matter of time. But anyways, let's get into this video information here, because this is going to blow your socks off. I've been staring at it for a day and a half now. I think it's pretty cool. But at the same time, you know, it's very detrimental to to the sun. A lot of interference going on right now. I've been watching the magnetosphere very, very closely. We've had a lot of disruptions. I'll go over some of that with you very shortly here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. I put this all into a video format for you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here. The area that we're going to be looking at, just box it off right here. And I want you to pay very close attention to this area right here. Now, I have close-ups of all of this, okay? and I finally got those still photographs. This object, like I said, it is orbiting in a very eccentric and elliptical orbit around the sun. As it passes by, you're going to see it disrupts the sun's corona. Like I said, almost like something disrupting a smoke trail. A sudden burst of wind or whatever. You could even throw a baseball through a smoke trail and it will leave a disturbance as it passes through. That's exactly what's happening here. The only reason why we're able to see it is because these cameras are able to view this in extreme ultraviolet light. Without these cameras on these spacecraft, folks, we would not see this. And this is pretty incredible. I do not think that this object that we're going to view, I don't think this has anything to do with the object that I recorded on June 9th that was in that big gas cloud. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I have still yet to figure out what in the hell that is. It was way out of position to be related to my research, my theory. I don't know. Could it be an object that we have not yet detected until June 9th? That's very highly possible. Because the mainstream, lamestream media and science, even if you showed this to them and we have concrete proof and evidence, they would deny it. But whatever. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and let this play. You guys can check it out. But watch up here and you'll see it. Pretty neat. Now there's a still photograph. You can see it right there. Watch very carefully. You'll see it. That's the still photograph. I mean, that's completely undeniable. Now, this was a 48-hour loop, and this is not the actual speed that the sun rotates. So this is kind of sped up a little bit. But the object does move very, very quickly. And as it passes through the sun's corona, you can see that disturbance. Now, unfortunately, this composite version of the SDO camera, this is 3 angstroms of ultraviolet light blended together. Now, there's the good shot that I waited for all day. I was zooming in using some of my other programs, some of the technology that I have to get a clear view of this. And sure enough, bingo, there it is. I mean, it's actually still up on the SDO website right now. Now, they'll probably be updating that now, probably right about now, midnight. They'll be going into the next day. Now, I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, that's a coronal prominence exploding or popping off." No, I'm sorry about that. That's absolutely, literally impossible. Coronal prominences, if they do pop, they create a coronal mass ejection. They don't pass through the sun's corona like that. This object definitely signifies something orbiting the sun very, very closely and passing through the sun's corona. And I was kind of surprised to see this because, well, I don't know. I've seen it in 2016, 17, and 18. And I was thinking to myself, well, they'll probably edit this out. They'll never let us see this again. But I was wrong. They're letting us see it. I put this in, in black and white and it turned out pretty good. Even though the resolution on this composite view of the SDO is, it's kind of bad. It used to be a lot better, but it seems like they've toned the resolution down for some reason. I know why. But you can see it pass right through there. Somebody left me a message in the my last video live stream in the comments section. They said that they've been watching my YouTube channel for many, many years, and they were a loyal subscriber. But because I was smoking a cigarette during my live stream, they were unsubscribing. Hey, whatever. Unsubscribe. I know you'll be watching as soon as you get that notification. You're not fooling anybody, buddy. It was actually a woman. Yeah. I sat here, folks. I sat here for probably 2 hours, and I watched this over and over and over and over again. Why? Because I wanted to be very, very sure of what I was seeing. And I know the sun very, very well. I've studied the sun now for the last 20 years. I know what should be there, and I know what shouldn't be there. And what we're seeing right there on your screen, yeah, that shouldn't be there, but it is there. And it's definitely interacting with the sun. And one of the biggest things that I fear now, folks, is, as I've mentioned before, going into this solar minimum, the interaction between this object or all of these objects, and the sun, and the sun kind of weakening over the next 11 years, what is this actually going to do? We've seen some really, really crazy things already this year in 2019. And we're only halfway through the year. We got 6 more months to go. And it's probably going to be a wild ride. And on top of all of that, we have a full 11 plus years as this sun of ours is in this solar minimum. So I think we're in for a big rocky ride. That's for sure. At the end of this video footage, I have some footage of Mount Cinnabung blowing its top. And I also have the footage for that absolutely insane hailstorm in Germany. I mean, that was something else, man. Wait till you see the impacts. These people were out by a lake, and all of a sudden it started. It started with little hailstones and then just erupted into like baseball-sized hailstones, splashing down in this lake. It was pretty incredible. But this footage here, I got to say once again, folks, this all pretty well connects with the orbital path that I've discussed with all of you before, and also the timing. Remember, I said we won't see any sightings of this object the first 7 to 8 days of the month. It's usually around the 9th, 10th, going all the way to pretty close to like the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of the month. We'll lose it for about a week, but then right there at the end of the month, we'll catch it again. And that's all due to its orbit and the positioning of the Earth and the positioning of these spacecraft. So I've been timing this out now since 2017, and I've been noting all of this down in a notebook, and that's how I've come up with this 28-day orbit. These were the photo captures from the 9th, and this was that object enveloped in that gas cloud. Now, I was doing some research on this the other day, and I was researching gas clouds in space. How do they form? Where do they come from? What objects out in space could maintain a gaseous cloud like this? And I'm going to be quite honest. I wrote an article about it. It's up on the Planet X News website. And, a lot of the information that I read over was referencing a red dwarf star, not a brown dwarf, a red dwarf, which would be smaller than our sun, and a red dwarf could regenerate and produce its own light at some point. So again, this is this is kind of a bit of a mystery here, because this object is kind of out of the 28-day orbit. I'm really kind of thrown back by this photo that we caught on the 9th. I'm still thinking about it, still rolling it around. But on the 8th, I want to give a shout out to Mark over at the Blue Kool-Aid channel. On the 8th, Mark captured this huge gas cloud coming up. I'm going to stop this for 1 second. He caught this gas cloud way up here in a photograph from the Core 2 on the 8th. And then on the 9th, it was right there. And I thought that was pretty incredible. That was some damn good work by Mark. And if you guys are not subscribed to his Blue Kool-Aid channel, listen, get over there. And he's been doing some great work. Mark's learning a lot, and he's a big help. And there's no doubt, it definitely takes more than just me to figure this all out. I mean, I've been doing it for 20 years now. I still rack my brain on a daily basis. But there's one thing, folks, that still bugs me. And that's the information that other people are putting out there. I don't know if they do it on purpose. I don't know if they just do it to be, like spectacular. Showing people lens flares and camera anomalies that they're taking of the sun. I've been down all of those roads before. I've researched all of that. I know camera optics very, very well. I know right from wrong. And the people that show you these things and claim that they're planets or whatever, I don't know. It's just not the right thing to do. And I've been getting these messages and emails once again about Steve Olson's videos about this whole Jupiter thing. And I'm going to be quite honest with you, folks. All of you know that I do not think highly of that man. I do not believe in a word that he says. And once again, hey, look, he's more than welcome to come out with his own ridiculous theories. But whenever you're in a position like this, folks, when people have been watching you for many, many years, they look to your information as being truth. You have an obligation to present real truth. And, scientifically saying that we're seeing reflections of Jupiter in the sky on a bubble webcam, an FAA webcam with direct sunlight here and a plexiglass enclosure where light can reflect. What do you think you're going to see? I mean, I've gone over that with all of you many, many times. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't like these types of people, because they do cloud your mind. And, I had to correct a few people, and I said, well, just think about it. Do you actually think that Earth has made its way all the way through the asteroid belt to get close enough to Jupiter for it to be that big in the sky on a webcam, on an FAA webcam? I mean, we would literally be sucked in by Jupiter's gravity. I mean, how do you think it attracted so many moons? So, again, some of these stories that these people are telling all of you are completely asinine. They're not true. We should really be centered on what is actually happening to our planet. We're going to be looking at some very, very rough times in these years to come. I mean, we have more than a decade of this to go through. I'm 51 years old now. By the time this is all said and done, I'll be 62 years old. Oh my God, I even hate to think about that. But I haven't got a gray hair on my head yet. I got a few on my chin, but that's about it. I took this clip from the magnetosphere because I was watching all of these waves of energy coming in from this stealth CME. It was not picked up on any of the CME detectors. I did see it come off of the sun. It was more of a filament release that snapped towards the Earth, which sends a, like kind of a wave of plasma towards the Earth. And as you're going to see here, you'll see the wave after wave after wave coming in. And as our magnetosphere weakens more and more and more because the sun's going to sleep, our magnetosphere works off of the sun. So if the sun's is getting weaker, ours is getting weaker. When the sun is putting off all of these heavily charged particles and they're literally spewing towards the Earth, they are going to get through. As they get through, they are going to do more damage. Space weather affects our, let's just say our local weather here on Earth. A lot of people don't really understand that. And there is probably good reason to believe that a lot of these anomalies that we're seeing within our jet stream, this really crazy activity, we've been seeing this now for 3 straight years, going into the 4th year. The jet stream controls all of our weather in both hemispheres. I've been watching it in the southern hemisphere. I've never seen anything like it. Never. As far as the northern hemisphere, it's crazy also. We've just had a big change in the jet stream, thank God, because that change that we just had in the jet stream just eliminated all of the possibilities for more tornadoes in the Midwest. Giving these people a little bit of a break. But the jet stream's probably going to make another shift here within the next 30 days, maybe sooner than that. And when it does make that shift again, the Midwest could be under the gun for more tornadoes and more heavy downpours of rain. With this shift in the jet stream, it has created a massive, massive heat wave in California and some of those southwestern states. I'm talking temperatures well over 100 degrees. And it is stagnant, it's stationary, and it's not going anywhere. There are a couple of other countries that are having this issue. India, again, is one of them. They had temperatures peaking out at 120 degrees, and people were dying. The week before that, that heat wave was centered right over Japan. Again, people getting sick, people having issues, people dying. And that is a shame. Some of that has shifted now. But again, folks, these are things that we are going to see constantly. And we may see more and more of these cyclonic storms whipping through Europe. I mean, hitting the coastlines of Portugal and Spain and France. and possibly even the UK. So we will see. We will see. I mean, I keep track on all of this weather, and I mean, what I'm seeing right now is pointing towards that direction. And a lot of increased activity storm-wise in the Gulf of Mexico. And, it looks like the Gulf of Mexico hurricane season may be pretty active. I know the meteorologists are predicting an average type year. They say that all the time, and then we have massively destructive storms. I was just watching a brief on the what Hurricane Michael did to the state of Florida last year in the Carolinas. Man, I hope the hell we don't have to go through something like that again, because it has still devastated those folks. And people in Puerto Rico are still, getting things fixed up from getting blasted by all of those hurricanes last year. So we will see how things pan out. Getting back to this magnetosphere, I'll go ahead and let this play. You're going to see these waves come in. And these waves of energy, as they come in, they're going to continue to be very, very disruptive to the Earth. We are going to see more and more possible power outages and outages in internet service, GPS service, and yes, everybody complains about their cell phone service. And folks, there's not much that can be done about it. They will shut these satellites down and put them in safe mode during these conditions, just so the satellites are not damaged. That's how it works. That's where you get the outages, and they know better. And that is probably what has been happening at YouTube part of the day. Remember, they have thousands and thousands of servers around the world. Same thing with Facebook. That's how that social media thing works. And they have to protect that electronic equipment. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this. And you guys watch these waves come in right there. And this was just on the 10th. Now, here's something unusual. The solar wind predictive model predicted that these waves would not be here until the 11th. Today, they actually arrived a full day early. So, this is the Australian model, and this was yesterday. Now, I want you to see how heavy those fluctuations are on the bow shock of our magnetopause. I mean, that's pretty violent right there. I haven't seen anything like that in quite some time. And this was what I was talking about. This was the predictor model. And if you look over here to the right side of your screen, right where this area is about to impact the Earth, that was set for the 11th. Today, well, actually, it's probably midnight now, but on the 11th, it actually arrived a full 24 hours ahead of time, and there's more behind it. So, we're probably going to see an increase in earthquake activity, I would say from anywhere from now for the next 72 hours, possibly even the next 4 days. We'll see how things go. This can also stir up volcanic activity. Once this solar wind impacted the Earth 24 hours ahead of time, boom, we saw a couple of pretty large volcanic blasts that are pretty serious. And that type of volcanic ash spewing up into our upper atmosphere is not a good thing. But I'll go ahead and I'll let this play, and you can see that wave hitting the Earth. Now, there's another one right behind it, and this model has since been updated. And maybe we'll go and check it out. But you can see, again, that was supposed to hit on the 11th, and it hit a day early. Maybe that's why they call them stealth CMEs because they're tricky. This is the video footage. I actually took the sound out of this because I keep getting hit with all of these fake copyright strikes. I got hit with four more of them yesterday. They're all fake. But, oh no, I think my cell phone shut off. Oh no, there it is. Thought I lost connection. This was over in Germany. And this is right where these folks were having a little picnic by this lake. And then all of a sudden, you see those marble size? Well, take a look out in the lake. They start getting bigger. Look at that. Is that insane or what? Have you ever seen anything like that in your life? I mean, we did last year. We're seeing it again this year, and it's getting worse. This is all Germany, folks. This is all Germany. This is that huge cyclonic storm that I showed you the other day that was moving off the Atlantic into the coastline of France and then moving upward. I forgot all about Germany. Sorry, folks. I was talking about how it was going to hit the UK, but before it hit the UK, this is the damage that it did in... see that guy running in the reflection? Yeah. That is absolutely incredible. And those are violent blasts. I mean, could you only imagine being out on that lake in a boat? Oh, my Lord. If you made it back to shore, you'd probably have about 40 or 50 bumps on your head if you lived. And, you know, folks, this isn't normal weather for Germany. And I've been getting a lot of information back from Romania and Bulgaria. They've been going through the same type of situation with massive hailstorms, massive downpours of rain. Remember how we were talking about lightning the other day? Just as I had that live stream, talked about people getting struck by lightning last year and how dangerous it is already this year, a 45-year-old man in Volusia County, Florida, was driving down Interstate 95, and he was hit right in the top of the head on his helmet by a lightning bolt, witnessed by a state trooper. It blew him off the motorcycle, he wrecked, and he was killed. Just yesterday in India, 9 people were killed by lightning strikes. So it's kind of odd that I talk about that, and 12 hours later, it's all over the mainstream media. This is Cinnabung blowing its top, and they said that the ash was detected approximately 55,000 feet up into the atmosphere. That's not good. That's not good at all. Pretty impressive, you know, to see that. But at this particular time, folks, this is the last thing we need. We do not need volcanoes spewing that amount of ash into the upper atmosphere. Very, very harmful. That's definitely producing additional CO2 output, and it's just not good. It's not good at all. You know, I don't know what possesses people to live at the base of such an active, live volcano. I don't know. But, yeah, that was pretty impressive blast, gotta say. And the activity's still going on. I've been watching it every couple of hours on Volcano Discovery. And, you know, it's still showing some signs, man, that it wants to let off. And we do have a couple of more impacts coming from the sun over the next couple of days. So, we may see a few more volcanoes go off. We may see Cinnabung throw another fit and throw more ash into the atmosphere. We will see. That's for sure. But that is one spectacular picture. And this is coming from the 9th. This was just 2 days ago. Look at that. That is just absolutely incredible. And they have these folks, they're standing on the street throwing buckets of water, I guess to rinse people's cars off. You know, a bunch of kids. Pretty neat. But they are very, very destructive. I'm going to go ahead and jump out of this video. I'm going to show you guys that still photograph from this capture for today. Well, actually, it was yesterday. And this is the actual still photograph. So this was the object right here that was passing through the sun's corona. So that's where we get into the issue with somebody saying, oh, you know, that was probably a coronal prominence, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, a coronal prominence is not a solid structure. That, what you see on your screen, is a solid structure. It is a solid sphere. It is a solid planetary body, a stellar core. I don't know exactly what its composition is, but it's definitely something that should not be there. And again, you know, folks, I guess the reason why astronomers and maybe NASA and mainstream science won't admit this, maybe it would create a worldwide panic. It would definitely rewrite the history books. And it would also put NASA into the situation of once again being a liar. Because they've denounced this Planet X theory for the last 25 years, 20 years. But there's hardcore evidence. And I've got most of it. Like I showed you in the news report article that I put up on Planet X News on our website the other day. 50 years of Planet X in the news, in the newspapers. I pulled all of those from newspaper archives for 50 years. That's one hell of a conspiracy. But now, with today's technology and my tenacity, we're getting the evidence. We're getting crystal clear evidence. So let's take a little zoom in on this photo. I did try to create a higher definition, but because the SDO is a lower, much lower resolution, and they've blended 3 angstroms of extreme ultraviolet light, it does get a little blurry. But there's no pixelization. So we could see the object clear as a bell right there. You could even see right there some of the corona wrapping right around it. Right there. And that's pretty spectacular. And I actually waited a full 24 hours so this could update a little bit and I could get a little bit better, clearer picture of this object, and then trying to capture it right at that point as it passed through the sun's corona where I could get a still photograph. Because yesterday I couldn't get one. I tried like hell. Believe me. 39 times. I had to delete all the photographs because they were all blurry. Damn, I love my Red Bull. But yeah, folks, finally, I was able to capture this. And what I had to do is I had to put it in one of my video programs, and I've got 2 really good video programs, video making software. And the one does have an extra slow mode feature. And that's how I was able to get this one single screenshot. That's it. I actually had to download this footage. Then I had to create it and convert it into high definition and more frames per second. So I had to take it from 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second, save the file, re-upload it into the software, play it, and put it into slow mode so I could get this one frame. So that's a technique that I use quite a bit when I'm trying to detect something, especially if it's in that sun's corona. And lo and behold, if you back it out, there she be. Right there. And that's what we saw, zipping right through the sun's corona. Matter of fact, I'll pull up a short version of one of the video clips. And we'll see it again. I'll let it play over and over. Oh, that's not the video that I wanted. No, no, no. That's the real long one. Here we go. So you'll see right here. And that's how close, that is how close this object gets to the sun. It gets close enough that it literally disrupts the sun's corona. And a lot of people say or ask, well, how is that possible? How could that object get that close to the sun? Well, we have the little planet Mercury. It's very, very close to the sun. It survives. And we don't know what the actual composition is of this object. And folks, listen. There has been much evidence on stars orbiting stars, planets orbiting very, very close to host stars. Matter of fact, there was just a huge story that came out. I did a story on it about maybe a week to 10 days ago. A big discovery was made. A host star that has a very, very large planet orbiting it, and the planet is very, very, very close to its star, and it survives. But it is literally hell to be on that planet orbiting that star. So yes, this is all possible. This is nothing that science would disagree with. This is all possible, and frankly, you're seeing it with your own eyes. Yeah. I had one person leave a comment during my live stream on the 9th saying that I show all of you fake pictures and I doctor the pictures. Well, that's not true, folks, and you all know that's not true because I show you exactly where I'm getting this information. I'm showing you the dates, the times, and the places. And each and every one of you are more than welcome to go and check it out for yourself. And you'll see it for yourself. But, that was just probably one bozo out there, wanting to be a little troll baby. But this was pretty spectacular. I think this was a very, very good capture once again. And this is 16, 17, 18. This is 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row that I've captured this object moving through and disturbing the sun's corona at that angle. And that is the angle of this 28-day orbit. It's coming from the back side of the sun, and it's actually coming towards us on the left side, and it's going to be moving down below the ecliptic. We'll probably lose sight of this object, now, but there are a couple of other ones out there. And we still have that mysterious object from the 9th enveloped in that gas cloud. Could that possibly be a red dwarf? It is possible. It is highly possible. I recommend that if you have not read that article that I wrote on the 10th, yesterday, I would go to the Planet X News website and read it. Because I did a lot of homework on that. You know, it's a short article, but I did a lot of homework on trying to figure out what that was. Because that was definitely not normal. But anyways, folks, I'm not going to ramble on for 2 hours like I normally do. I know some of you may want me to. I doubt that. I'll bring this picture up one more time. So that was the bad boy right there. That was the bad boy right there. The reason why I put it into black and white is because it was showing up a lot better in black and white, naturally. So that's what disturbed the sun's corona. That's what passed by the western limb of the sun at about, the 10 o'clock position? Yeah. And again, people, there's, folks out there that still say that this is a conspiracy, this is a hoax, this is not true, this is fake. Okay. Your words are cheap, just like your comments. If it's so fake, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Toughen up that backbone and take me on. Let's go at it. Because as far as I'm concerned, I have undeniable evidence of the existence of these objects invading our sun, and they are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. Not in our lifetimes. That's for sure. But, yeah. Things are going to get pretty dicey on this planet, folks. You know, maybe in a couple of years from now, I don't know, maybe we won't even recognize our planet. I often sit and wonder what it is going to be like. All the craziness in politics, the craziness with our climate, everything is abnormal now. You know, it's already June. I was out cutting my grass today, doing some yard work. And I just noticed that I haven't seen one bee. I've not seen one bee so far. And it's already June. That's bad. That's bad news. It was an absolutely gorgeous day today. It was about 72 degrees. A cool breeze. But we're about 12 degrees below average right now. And that's all due to that jet stream. So right now that jet stream is shifted. It's bringing cooler air down from Canada right over top of us. But it is creating that huge heat wave over Southern California. And if you don't believe me, folks, go pull up like AccuWeather or something. Go pull up some weather channel. Take a look at those temperatures. They're insane. Yeah. And we're going to be keeping a close eye on this earthquake activity. I've noticed a little bit of activity in different areas along that New Madrid fault line. Small earthquakes, very, very small, but unusual. So there is a lot happening. There's a lot happening all over the world. It is a lot to keep track of on a day-to-day basis. But I wanted to share all of this with you today. I would have live streamed this yesterday, but I just could not get that clear picture, a still photograph, until today. Because I think the still photograph solidifies the video of that object coming through the sun's corona. To me, that's undeniable. But anyways, folks, I'm going to cut out of here. I'm going to get a little rest. I have a very busy day tomorrow. Do me a favor. I really appreciate it. Share this video on your social media. And listen, folks, you know, my last live stream, I didn't mean to offend anybody. But every now and then, you know, it takes somebody like me to spark that fire deep inside of each and every one of you. No fear. No fear. If people don't believe you about this subject matter, then they don't believe you. But in due time they will. You are the enlightened one. They are still in the dark. So you are already so many steps above and beyond these people. But we do have a responsibility to mankind, to our families, our friends, our co-workers, our neighbors, whoever, to bring them into this enlightened stage. Yeah, we're not going to, you know, save everybody. But although I would love to. But sometimes you need that fire. You need that fire to come out to spark each and every one of you. And I have to say, I got a lot of inbox messages. I got a lot of emails from people thanking me for being a little over the top and sparking that fire within them and saying, hey, you know, I've watched you for a long time. What you said yesterday really hit home with me, and you're right. I do need to do a little bit more. And that was cool. I appreciate it. A lot of good emails came in, a lot of good responses. And if you like, I'll rant some more. Oh boy. Hey, for all of you that bought your shirts, fantastic. Matter of fact, I just developed a new one just the other day, yesterday, and I think it's pretty damn cool. We'll check it out real quick. Do. Yeah, somebody had an idea for a shirt, and I said, oh, you know what? I do have a logo for that, and we'll go ahead and go at it. And this was the new one right here. Pretty cool logo. If you don't alert the masses, who will? Yeah. Got your chemtrail planes, your gas mask, and then on the backside, yeah, buddy, there's our hardcore conspiracy realist jersey logo. I love it. I ordered me one. Yep. As soon as I made this, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And it comes in a couple different colors. The only colors I could really use were colors that would bring out the logo itself. The gray one looks pretty cool. Did it in the army green, navy blue. I don't know, man. For some of you that like purple, there you go. I had a purple Harley one time, but That was a special purple color from Harley called Burple. It's a combination of blue and purple. But I like the black one. Black one looks pretty good. I'll put the link in the live chat if you guys want to pick one up. You go ahead and do that. Alrighty then. Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'll do also. I'll just give you guys the whole damn link for the online store. How about that? Alrighty then. But anyways, folks, I'm going to go ahead and cut out of here. I really appreciate you spending the time with me at this odd hour. I'm going to get some rest and do a little bit more homework first thing in the morning. Stay safe out there, folks. Things are getting really, really weird, man. And they're getting unsafe. As you can see what happened in Germany. And Cinnabung, the volcano, blowing its top. We just never know. You just never know when your number's going to be up. But anyways, folks, I'm out of here. Take care. I really appreciate all of you supporting me and Planet X News here. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. There's a lot more to come. Take care, folks.